Percy Jackson. Percy Jackson is the son of Poseidon, the god of the sea, so water is his main power. He can move water like it's a tool, shaping it into walls to block attacks, waves to push enemies back, and fast jets that hit hard. Water also heals him and gives him energy. He can breathe underwater, handle deep pressure, and talk to sea creatures and even horses, because Poseidon rules those too. Sometimes Percy can affect mist or dirty liquids if they're mostly water, but he can't control every liquid. In real fights, Percy has spun up whirlpools to split enemy groups, raised tight water shields to protect friends, and pushed a poisonous cloud away by steering the moisture inside it. Once, he set off a volcano by pulling on heat and underground water. Proof he can do huge things, but only with a heavy cost. His limits are clear. He is strongest near rivers, lakes, and the ocean. Far from water, his powers drop, and using big moves makes him very tired and slower to react. Earthshake abilities belong to Poseidon's domain, but Percy can't use them on command without serious risk. That's why he still trains as a top swordsman. How to use Percy best. Keep him near water so he can control the battlefield, then mix sword work with quick water bursts. Away from water, he fights smart and relies on teammates to help him stay hydrated. Jason Grace. Jason Grace is the son of Jupiter, the Roman king of the gods, so his powers come from the sky and storms. He can control wind to lift himself and fly, push enemies back, or steady falling friends. He can also call lightning, short, powerful blasts that hit fast, and he's trained to use both without hurting his team. In fights, Jason has broken up groups of flying enemies with sudden gusts, blasted tough targets with lightning, and stayed airborne long enough to fight in the air and guide his friends from above. His limits are mostly about energy and focus. Flying and throwing lightning drain him if he keeps them up for too long, and getting hurt or distracted can make him lose lift or aim. He works best in open spaces where the air can move freely. Tight caves and heavy buildings make his wind tricks harder. He's also a trained leader, so he keeps teams organized while he attacks. How to get the best out of Jason. Give him height and room to move. Let him control the sky, knock enemies off balance with wind, strike key targets with lightning, and call out positions to teammates on the ground. If you're enjoying this breakdown, tap like and hit subscribe so the next detailed walkthrough lands in your feed as soon as it's out. Thalia Grace. Thalia Grace is the daughter of Zeus, the Greek king of the gods, so her power comes from lightning and storms. She can call down lightning in sharp, targeted blasts and use short bursts of wind to shove foes or steady herself. She fights with a spear and shield, and her shield, Aegis, projects a terrifying Gorgon face that scares most monsters and makes crowds back off. As a hunter of Artemis, she's also highly trained with bows and ambush tactics, and she doesn't age while she stays with the hunters. Her limits are about fear and rules. Thalia has a fear of heights, so she doesn't fly or stay high in the air like Jason. The Hunter's Oath also sets strict duties and stops her from normal camp life. Lightning needs a clear line to the target, and using too much power too fast can tire her out or risk friendly fire if teammates are too close. How to utilize Thalia best. Let her hit first and hit hard. She's great at breaking enemy lines with a lightning strike, holding a choke point with spear and shield, and using Aegis to make monsters scatter so the team can pick them off. Nico D'Angelo. Nico D'Angelo is the son of Hades, the god of the underworld, so his power is tied to shadows, the dead, and the earth below. He can call up ghostly soldiers to distract or fight, pull darkness together into shields or bindings, and open cracks or spikes in the ground to trip or pin enemies. His signature move is shadow travel, stepping through one shadow and coming out of another, sometimes very far away. He can also sense death and make the air around him turn cold and scary, which weakens weak-willed foes. His limits are strict. Shadow travel is powerful but draining. Moving long distances or carrying people and heavy items makes him dizzy, freezing cold, and sometimes too weak to stand. Summoning the dead takes focus and leaves him tired, and in bright, open places with few shadows, his tricks are harder to use. If he overuses underworld power, he can lose strength fast and needs time, food, and warmth to recover. How to use Nico best. Treat him like a sneaky controller. Let him set ambushes from shadow, kidnap a key target out of a fight, or block a hallway with dark walls while the team regroups. Use him for surprise transport and quick exits, but plan rest breaks so he doesn't burn out. Hazel Levesque. Hazel Levesque is the daughter of Pluto, the Roman god of the underworld and riches beneath the earth. She can pull metals and gems out of the ground, shape the terrain into cracks, spikes, or pillars, and, after training with Hecate, bend the mist to create realistic illusions that fool sight and sound. She rides Arion, a magical horse that runs incredibly fast, letting her scout, reposition, or strike from unexpected angles. In fights, she has tricked enemies into stepping exactly where she wants, made solid cover appear where there was none, and turned rough ground into a trap that stops heavy hitters. Her power has limits. Pulling up treasure can carry curses that hurt mortals who touch it, so she has to be careful around bystanders. Big earth moves and complex illusions take focus and drain her, and if she pushes too far, the control slips. Arion's speed is huge, but handling him in tight spaces is hard, and she still needs room to turn and stop safely. On a team, Hazel excels at setting the battlefield. She opens safe paths for friends, hides them with mist, and shapes the ground to slow or mislead enemies so strikers can finish the job. Annabeth Chase. Annabeth Chase is the daughter of Athena, the goddess of wisdom and strategy. Her power is her mind, planning, problem-solving, and staying calm under pressure. She reads a fight like a map, spots weak points, sets traps, and gives clear orders that make a small team feel bigger. She is also trained with knives and can hold her own in close combat, especially when she can use terrain, stairs, doorways, narrow halls, to control how enemies move. She understands ancient designs and puzzles, which lets her open paths others miss, and shut down dangers without a brawl. In major quests, she has solved complex trials built to break heroes, guided teams through mazes without getting lost, and turned enemy plans against them by thinking 3 steps ahead. Her limits are simple, but real. She doesn't throw fire or lightning. Most of her edge comes from knowledge, gear, and careful timing. If she's forced into a wide, open fight with no cover and no time to plan, she's at a disadvantage against heavy hitters. When she's carrying the whole plan on her back, leading, fighting, and solving puzzles at once, fatigue can slow her thinking, and one rush choice can open the team to a surprise attack. In a group, Annabeth is the coordinator and problem solver. She scouts the route, calls the order of moves, places the right person in the right spot, and turns the battlefield into something the team can manage. Give her a goal and a few minutes to think, and the path becomes clear. Leo Valdez. Leo Valdez is the son of Hephaestus, the god of fire and craft, so his strengths are building, fixing, and fire. He understands machines like other people understand speech. He can talk to gears, wiring, and engines, spot what's wrong, and make it work better. He designed and built the Argo II, repaired the metal dragon Festus, and turned scrap into tools, traps, and weapons on the spot. Leo also has rare fire powers for his cabin. He's heat-proof, can create and shape flames, and use them like a cutting torch, a shield, or a burst to push enemies back. He plans ahead, hides gadgets in his clothes, and stacks small tricks. Smoke, flash, glue, nets, so bigger foes get stuck or blinded before they know they're in trouble. His limits are practical. Fire eats oxygen and spreads fast, so using it in tight rooms is risky for everyone. Big builds need time and parts. If he has nothing to work with, his options shrink. Throwing flame for too long tires him, and wild emotions can make his fire spike or misfire if he's not careful. When he pulled off the huge endgame plan against Gaia, he survived with a special cure and careful setup, not raw power alone. On a team, Leo is the maker and problem fixer who turns bad ground into your ground. He rigs the field, opens doors, disables enemy gear, and uses smart bursts of fire when it truly helps. Piper McLean. Piper McLean is the daughter of Aphrodite. Her main power is charmspeak, which means her voice can strongly persuade people to do or feel something. At first it's weak, but with training she turns it into a precise tool. She can calm fights, snap friends out of mind control, or force enemies to stand down long enough to end a battle safely. She reads emotions quickly, spots fear or pride she can use, and backs it up with fast knife work in close range. Piper carries a dagger called Catoptris. It sometimes shows short visions that warn her about danger or point to a clue. She also learns simple mist tricks that distract or change what people notice, so her words hit harder. There are clear limits. Strong-willed targets can resist her, especially powerful beings like gods and giants or leaders who are trained to keep control of their minds. If the target cannot hear her clearly, the effect fades or fails. Using charmspeak too often or too forcefully makes her tired and less focused, and there are moral lines she will not cross, because pushing friends or bystanders can break trust. Catoptris only gives brief flashes, not full answers, so Piper still has to judge what is real in the moment. In a team, Piper is the one who stops battles from getting out of hand. She turns chaos into a pause, flips an enemy's bad choices back on them, and gives allies clean openings to finish the fight. Frank Zhang. Frank Zhang is the son of Mars, the Roman god of war. His biggest power is shapeshifting. He can turn into many different animals, from small birds to huge bears, and even a dragon. This lets him scout from the sky, hit hard up close, or break enemy lines with sheer size. He is also skilled with the bow and spear, so he can fight well even when he stays in human form. In battles, he keeps calm, takes orders, and gives them when needed. At key moments, he has been blessed by his war lineage, which boosts his strength and courage and helps him lead from the front. His power comes with clear risks. Frank's life is tied to a small piece of firewood. If that wood is ever burned up, he dies. Because of that, he guards it carefully and trusts only a few people with it. Shapeshifting also drains energy. Bigger, heavier forms are harder to hold and make him tired faster, and jumping between forms many times in one fight can slow his reactions. Turning into flying or fast animals is useful, but he still needs space to take off, land, or turn safely. On a team, Frank is the flexible fighter who fills the gap you need right now. He can start the fight as a fast scout, switch to a heavy form to smash a strong enemy, and finish as a steady archer covering his friends while they move. Reyna Ramírez-Arellano. Reyna Ramírez-Arellano is the daughter of Bellona, the Roman goddess of war. She is a trained commander who keeps a team steady under pressure. She fights with Roman weapons like the gladius and pilum and reads a battlefield fast, choosing ground that helps her side. She travels with 2 metal dogs, Aurum and Argentum, which scout, guard, and attack on command. Her rare gift is strength transference. By touch and will, she can lend part of her strength to a person or even to an object. She used this power to help move the Athena Parthenos and to keep long-distance travel from breaking her team. This gift also works the other way around. She can take on weight that would crush someone else and carry it for the group. Her limits are tied to endurance and focus. Lending strength costs her energy, and sharing too much at once can leave her shaky or lightheaded. The effect works best with clear contact and a clear target. Keeping a whole team moving for hours drains her faster than boosting one person for a short time. In a straight power contest against heavy hitters, she relies on training, timing, and formation rather than raw force. On missions, Reyna is the stabilizer. She keeps order when others panic, covers weak spots with smart positioning, and uses her strength gift to push the team through tasks that would normally be impossible, like moving a cursed relic or finishing a hard march when everyone is nearly out of energy. Solace. Solace is the son of Apollo, the god of healing, light, and music. His main strength is medical power. He can sense what is wrong with someone, slow bleeding, ease pain, and speed up healing with touch, herbs, and controlled bursts of warmth and light. He runs battlefield triage, sets broken bones, treats poison and curses with the right mixtures, and keeps people stable while the fight continues. Will can also shine bright light to clear shadows, guide teammates, and disorient weaker monsters. He is a trained archer and can defend himself, but his first job is to keep everyone alive and moving. His limits show most in deep darkness and the underworld. Away from sunlight, his energy drops, and holding healing for too long makes him shaky and unfocused. He cannot fix everything at once. Heavy injuries still need time, supplies, and rest. Strong curses, rare poisons, and Tartarus-level wounds push him to the edge, and trying to heal while under attack splits his focus and slows results. On a team, Will is the medic and morale anchor. He keeps people on their feet, clears fear with a steady voice, and turns a losing fight into a survive and finish mission by stopping small wounds from becoming fatal. McCaffrey. McCaffrey is the daughter of Demeter, the goddess of crops and growing things. She controls plants in fast, practical ways. She can make roots shoot up to trip enemies, grow branches into shields, and whip vines to bind arms and legs. She can call grain spirits called karpoi to chase or bite targets. She has shown plant travel, stepping into a tree or a patch of flowers and coming out of another plant nearby, which lets her escape or appear behind an enemy. Meg is also a trained fighter. She wears 2 rings that change into curved twin blades, and she uses quick footwork to strike while plants hold the target in place. Her power depends on the environment. She is strongest where there is soil, trees, or thick plant life. In stone corridors, deserts, or burned ground, she has less to work with and has to rely on her swords. Fire and strong acid can kill or weaken the plants she raises, and forcing huge growth too fast drains her energy and dulls her focus. Calling karpoi helps, but they are willful and can cause chaos if she loses control. On a team, Meg is a fast controller who turns any green space into a trap. She blocks paths, pins threats, opens living cover for friends to move behind, and uses short, sharp sword strikes while her plants keep enemies from escaping. Clarisse is the daughter of Ares, the god of war. She is a frontline fighter who wins by hitting hard and not backing down. Her main weapon is a spear that delivers strong electric shocks on contact, stunning monsters and knocking enemies off their feet. She wears heavy armor well, drives a war chariot when the field allows it, and leads the Ares cabin in formations that push straight through defenses. Clarisse trains for close combat every day, so her blocks, thrusts, and shield bashes are clean and fast. In major battles, she has broken enemy lines, held choke points under pressure, and led her cabin to take down larger creatures by staying tight and striking in rhythm. Her limits match her style. She is strongest up close. Long-range flyers, fast shooters, and spell users force her to close distance under fire. Anger is both fuel and risk. If she lets pride or rage lead, she can chase a target into bad ground or miss a trap. Heavy gear is powerful in open spaces, but tight tunnels and slippery terrain reduce her movement. The spear's shock is not endless. Repeated strikes drain stamina and require timing to stay effective. On a team, Clarisse is the spearhead. She takes the front, absorbs the first hit, and creates the opening everyone else uses. Give her a clear target and room to advance, and she will crack the line so controllers and strikers can finish the fight. Thanks for watching. Before you head out, a quick like and subscribe goes a long way and keeps new explainers on the way.